I feel so good, I feel so numb.
And now, from the Cave of Wonders and recorded live in the presence of gods, welcome to the Rain Man Show.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Rain Man Show after a 12 to 14 day hiatus.
How could you?
How are you, Thomas?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. This will be our last break until December.
I think people are excited to hear that.
So I hope everybody enjoyed themselves, because we will not be taking long breaks anymore.
My God.
Well, of course.
Can you commit to that?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I mean, of course, if you were a subscriber to Patreon, guess what? You didn't have a break at all.
That's true.
Because we released a show, I believe, last night. That was really fun.
There we go. So the break was good for you. Your annual retreat, I guess, is what you'd call it?
Yeah, a retreat. We'll go with that one. Now, I enjoy it. It's good. I go to the woods up on the Mogollon Rim and become one with nature. I get in touch with nature, I should say.
I think there's one question that everyone really wants to know, though, based on recent episodes. Did you find any porn out in the woods?
I didn't.
Really?
However, we did go to the exact same campsite where I found porn all those
years ago.
All those years ago. Those many sweet years ago. Bush and all.
Were you hoping to find some?
No.
Is that why you went to the exact same campsite?
If those guys were still posting porn, like
Bucktooth,
20-some years later.
in the woods for 20 years.
Yeah. I hope they fell off the rim and just died.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, they messed me up. Yeah. They messed me up, Thomas.
It did seem like you had a troubled past as a result of finding that pornographic images.
Yeah. It's very disturbing. So no woods porn. I'm sorry, Andrew.
Disappointing.
There you go. Your mic's on now.
That's really disappointing. Woods porn is
apparently it's part of life. I felt like I was missing out on something.
Come on. I mean, for real though, would you really want to touch the porn that belonged to somebody else?
No.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
I didn't say I want to touch it. I said I wanted to find it.
Wait, Andrew, you just were excited about it. You were excited as a child finding woods porn.
No,
so,
it's a rite of passage that many
rite
people,
of passage,
dude. You don't understand how deep ingrained woods porn is into American society and culture.
You know what? In ancient cultures, Thomas, the rite of passage was to go and hunt and bring back
a bear with a stick.
Yeah, you bring back the head of a bear, or you kill a boar. You feed the village for months. Probably in caveman time, it was you killed a brontosaurus or a T-Rex. But in Andrew's mind, the rite of passage is finding someone's jizz-stained porn in the woods.
Nailed to a tree or beneath a log.
Yeah.
Or in a bush behind your church.
I do appreciate the Christian symbolism there, though. It was nailed to a tree. Was it crucified?
For its sins, it was.
Oh, no. So I did not find any porn, and I did look though, but not because I was,
actually looking,
but I did not want my son to wander off to some campsite.
So it was preliminary search.
Yeah, I don't want him to relive my trials and tribulations by way of viewing the woman's sexual parts so early at a 5-year, 5-year-old age.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, fully developed in the least, and you get confused. All types of feelings go through your mind, like, what am I looking at? I mean, at that age...
How do I sneak this back into camp without my parents
not when you're 5. Not when you're 5. Like, were you into women at that age?
No, at 5. Yeah. Dude, I was into Beast Wars. Like, let's get real.
Yeah.
I thought you were...
Primate.
I thought you were going to say bestiality. I was like, wow.
No, wow. Sorry to disappoint. That's not going to be one of the Rain Man secrets at the end of the year.
But the funny thing is every time I went into the woods to relax, I do walk there, this is what I automatically heard.
So you never 100% got away?
No, because I immediately thought of my my psychology. I was like, okay, am I on the Rain Man Show right now? I hear lots of animal creatures, animal sounds, and immediately I was taken back. That's somebody watching woods porn. Yeah. So no toilet problems this year either. I'm happy to report, Thomas, that there was no toilet problems whatsoever. we made a makeshift bathroom in the middle of the woods. You have to walk about, I don't know, maybe 200, 300 feet out into the woods. And you just make a little tarp. You bring your own little toilet, like mobile toilet. Boom, you're good.
So you didn't have an actual toilet like you did last year with like the flies and Armageddon.
No, we made that. You can buy like a portable toilet.
Yeah, and you like went all natural and made it.
Made it in the woods.
Just shy of squatting over a log.
Yeah, it was my own personal outhouse. No one else was allowed to use it. There was like 7 other family members, and I told them no. And my mom's all, hey, Mike, we made this for the whole family. Nope, just me. I'm claiming it. And I shit all over the place, so no one wants to go in there.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
No, don't be ridiculous. I never do that.
So what'd you do with the waste afterwards? Or was it a seat over a hole?
No, you have are you really that interested?
I know,
I am. Because I want to know if you had to,
like, so what happened to the feces?
Did you play with it a little bit? Put a little bit on your dick?
I want to know if you had to carry it back home.
Why would you carry it back home?
Because if he's got a whole setup in the woods,
why would they do that?
A trash bag of shit? Is that
like, talk about like a real life walk of shame? Like, you're walking back with with a bag of shit in your hands back to camp.
This is what I did.
Leave no trace.
And you throw it in the campfire.
Shame.
Oh my God, that visual.
Shame.
If I walked back into camp with a bag of shit in my hands,
you should just not walk back to camp.
Yeah.
You should walk right off the Mogollon Rim, and kill yourself.
So what'd you do with the plastic?
Or just have a sinkhole just fall underneath me, and I just get swallowed up, and nobody knows what happened to me.
Right.
The Boy Scout in me is so disappointed.
Yeah. But my stepdad, because he's Asperger's, he doesn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't understand privacy. So like, I would quietly go get like a shovel. The biodegradable bags.
Yeah.
And I'd walk over and he's like, hey, where you going?
Shame.
And then my son out of nowhere, he's taking a poop. And I'm like, oh, I don't know who's
worse. Why are you both up? It's 2 a.m.
I don't know who's worse, my Asperger's dad or my son.
Shame.
Oh, Jesus. That was
let the recording go a little bit long on that one.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I think you're just doomed to have to deal with both.
Yeah.
And have them trumpet and announce your bowel movements.
Yeah. And then he laughs, my son. So he knows what he's doing. He knows that's something that you don't want people knowing.
So your son's just an asshole.
Oh, come on. He's 9, but maybe. He takes after his father. And like my mom will say, like, she will talk to me like, don't get mad at him. Like, why? Because he acts like you. Now you know what I lived through. And she's all, now that it's not me, she's all, I think it's hilarious.
Right. And you're having to deal with it now. That is great.
I'm like, can I please go to the bathroom in peace?
No.
Yeah. It's funny.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you got away for a little bit and you cleared your thoughts.
Yeah.
Because the world is still coming to an end.
Oh, absolutely. In fact,
has not changed since you left.
No, and I expected for everything to kind of calm down while I was gone for those 10 to however many days, 10 to 12 days.
Hell no, dude.
I thought everything would calm down and the world would kind of go back to being normal. I mean, just the Trump shit, that's never going to go away for now. But the apocalypse continues.
Yep.
Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Maria.
There's another one after that, too.
And then a 7.1 magnitude earthquake has now hit Mexico just today, killing hundreds.
Yep. The world's trying to get rid of us, man.
I know. And according to weirdos out there, they all have their own little theories as to what it is. And when I say weirdos, I say, Christian enthusiasts. Let's be fair to them. Christian enthusiasts. Let's use that word rather than Christian radicals.
Okay.
Is that more fair?
It's more PC. I don't think it's more fair, but we'll go with it.
Christian enthusiasts. We have some Christians listening to the show, I think. If they are, they're probably going to get excommunicated very soon. But rather than looking at science and saying, well, hurricanes are violent storms and they happen every year, and they're caused by heat in the water near the equator, and they form into cyclones, and then they turn into hurricanes if they're from the Atlantic Ocean, I believe is how it works.
I think you're roughly right.
Yeah, I think so. So rather than looking at science, people start pointing to God and punishment. I know we talked about this a few weeks ago about Pat Robertson and his prophesying of the gays being the ones that are being punished because of this. But it gets worse. Rather than using common sense and science, we rather believe in a magical presence trying to punish people. According to this article here, Kirk Cameron, you know who Kirk Cameron is, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fabulous actor, Kirk Cameron. Hails from the fame of Growing Pains.
Yep.
Where he had a friend named Boner. If you remember that one.
I do.
Kirk Cameron says, God sends hurricanes to teach us to repent. Now, there's an entire Facebook video he posted. I'm going to play the entire thing just so you could hear the slow burning lunacy. He starts out sounding pretty normal, and then by about minute 2, he starts sounding like a lunatic.
Good.
I don't understand how people like this have an audience.
Dude, fear, I think. I don't know. Or just people like to watch the crazy.
Weekend. I'm sorry, it's coming up on the weekend. Such a great time.
Now, first off, I think it's really funny because Kirk Cameron is standing in the middle of the airport. It's busy all around him, and he decides to go live on Facebook to talk about God.
But let's. This is the time to do this in front of everyone at 2:00 on a Wednesday.
Last couple of days, I've been hanging out at an award show.
He's the, you know what, I know we make fun of Pat Robertsons and the Glenn Becks and the over-the-top people, right?
Right.
But really, the ones you should be afraid of the most are the ones who aren't the blowhards.
The subtle ones?
The ones like this guy who can sell it because he's suave, he's kind of a good-looking dude still, he doesn't look as intimidating, he's not the stereotypical religious zealot.
Right, look like the Crypt Keeper.
Right.
For Christian music radio, and Danny Goki, I got to meet him last night. Been wanting to meet him for a while. Zach Williams was there.
Danny Goki?
I got to host the award program.
Must be the who's who of like the Christian circles,
I guess.
And it was just a really
probably do just the same amount of coke and blowjobs as any other rock star.
That's really why I was there to get high. Really
cool night. I got to meet Phil Wickham, and I had a thought this morning as I leave Florida.
Oh, really? Did you?
Everyone's trying to leave Florida right now. Walmart is being emptied of its...
How much do you think Kirk Cameron got paid by saying Walmart? Honestly.
I think they had to pay for legal defense because he mentioned them.
I'm willing to bet that he got paid to say that.
He might have.
Because this guy knows how to work. I'll give him that.
He's still making money.
I'll give him that. He probably makes more money now than he ever did being on that bullshit sitcom in the 80s.
Shelves of water and canned food because Irma is on its way. And a friend of mine, Jay Younts, pointed out something really insightful, and I wanted to share it with you this morning.
He's like name dropping.
Well, you're supposed to know who they are.
And I know none of these people. Should I know these people, Thomas?
I guess if you listen to the Christian Rock Radio Award
I need to be hip. I'm going to start listening to Christian Top 10.
Get with God.
Hey, you know what?
Be hip with God, yo.
Can you look up the Christian Top 10? Christian Rock Top 10. And then
see if we
send it to me on the Hip Chat link so I can pull it up. Because I want to see what I'm missing out. Because I think the last Christian band that was really good was POD, I believe it was. POD was pretty damn good. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Was Stryper Christian also?
I don't even know them.
They were Christian.
All right, here's a Christian band that I know of. Here, hold on a second. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. This is a Christian band. 2001 this song came out, and it's fantastic. They're good, but I think they're like the what is it called? The gem?
Oh, the diamond in the rough?
Diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
Does this song ring any bells yet, Thomas?
Oh, yeah, I've heard this song millions of times.
Every day is a new day. I'm thankful for every breath I take. I won't take it for granted.
Yeah, this is a good song.
They play this on the radio still all the time.
Really?
Dude, yes.
I like it. It's a good song still. I'm going to listen to it now. They don't make music like this anymore, do they?
Not really.
So I trust still love
Let's just get to the chorus, and then I won't kill you. Here we go.
I feel so alive for the very first time. I can't deny you.
Yeah, that was a good band back in the day.
Didn't they have that song Headstrong?
I don't know.
Also?
This isn't a radio show.
Right.
Like a radio music show. There we go.
You know, Harvey, they say, was a once-in-a-lifetime event because the destruction was unprecedented with that hurricane.
All right, Kirk.
There's another one coming up that they say is now the largest recorded hurricane on the Atlantic. This is Irma. And the devastation from that, we don't know how much that's going to be. But how should we look at two giant hurricanes coming back to back like this?
As an act of nature and science.
Do we just do we write them off as coincidence? Do we write it off as...
No, you write it off as an act of nature.
A statistical anomaly? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Who would have thought?
The funny thing is that people are acting like this is like, oh my God, a hurricane. Guess what? This world has been around. Let's go by Christian thinking. They believe the world's only been around for a few thousand years.
Depending on your Christian beliefs, yeah,
okay?
2,000 years.
Just in a few thousand years, how many earthquakes, volcanoes, floods, hurricanes have dominated people? Countless. And they act like, oh, this is because it's the end of days. God is making you pay.
Mother Nature in a bad mood? I don't know how you think about it, but I think it could be something much more than all of that.
Really?
I'm going to look
tell us
here in God's Word and read to you from...
I like how he says, well, I just happen to have a Bible here, Thomas.
I just
I'm going to go ahead
in my pocket.
I'm going to go ahead and read the Bible. It was almost like
the exact page. It's like God himself said, "Hey, it's page 340."
Yeah, it's like Ron Burgundy when he pulls out his flute.
Job. In Job 37, God says through Job, he saturates clouds with moisture. He scatters his lightning through them. They swirl about, turning around and around at his direction.
And guess what? Prometheus stole fire from the gods and gave it to man. Does that mean it's true? Does that mean he's responsible for the Santa Ana fires?
I like how it's always...
Wait, that Santa Ana wins, right?
Yeah. I like how they're always, like, when you're this hardcore radical, it's like, well, it's said exactly in the Bible. I'm like, yeah, it also said that the world was made in 7 days. If you want to believe that God talked to somebody to write this down, and what if God sat to him and was like, okay, I made the world in 800 trillion years with atoms, which are molecules smaller, and this is somebody who doesn't even understand how clean water works.
See, honestly...
Writing it down, you could say 800 trillion years, and he's going to be like,
yeah.
I'm just going to put a week.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write that. I'm going to shorthand this. That's what I'm going to say.
Accomplishing everything that he commands them over the surface of the inhabited world.
Hurry up, Kirk.
He causes this to happen for punishment or to water his land and demonstrate his faithful love. One thing we know about hurricanes and all weather is that this is not Mother Nature in a bad mood. This is a spectacular display of God's immense power.
I don't think that's one thing we know.
And when he puts his power on display, it's never without reason. There's a purpose. And we may not always understand what that purpose is, but we know it's not random. And we know that weather is sent to cause us to respond to God in humility, awe, and repentance.
All right, so by his line of thinking, Kirk Cameron is alluding to the fact that nature and weather isn't by circumstances, it isn't an act of science. It's because God is acting on those that are sinners, right? So, okay, Kirk Cameron, what's your explanation for the churches that were destroyed in the Caribbean islands during the last hurricane? At least 4 churches in Antigua and Barbuda and a dozen on St. Martin were flattened by the Category 5 hurricane last week. What did they do that was wrong, Kirk Cameron? They had a smaller tax bracket than you?
Yes.
You had a higher tax bracket, so you were able to get your ass on a plane and escape the weather. So is that God's plan then, Kirk? Is that what you're saying? You're saying that God will give you reprieve if you have the money to escape, and all the peasants that live below the poverty line who can't escape the Caribbean islands are sinners?
I mean, religion's based all about,
don't get me. Don't interrupt.
All right.
That's my problem, Thomas, with religion. Like, I think for the most part, it does good for some people. But when they get on their soapbox and they start saying things like that,
like they're the next prophet.
How do you explain the fact that there's countless millions who are in the hurricane's path, who are living the same Christian life as you, going to church, doing good things? What did they do wrong?
They lived in the wrong place.
Yeah. They can't afford to escape. That's what they did wrong. Kirk Cameron?
No. God's will.
Yeah.
Not science.
But the lunacy doesn't end here. Now, this is even more crazy. A Christian prophetess will stop Hurricane Irma by hitting it with a scepter. I can actually
hitting the hurricane.
I can get behind this one.
Does she think it's like a typhoon or a water spout where there's like this tornado that she can physically touch?
At least she makes it fun. At least she makes her lunacy fun.
If she is not in full-on Gandalf robes.
Yeah. You shall not pass, is what she says to the weather. Let's see what she says. I actually haven't listened to this yet.
You're on. Are you on?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello. This is Kat Kerr reporting from Atlantic
You're not reporting
Beach
anything.
in Florida. I have just flown in from my meetings in Seattle, Washington.
It's so funny because so many of these radicals, they prey on
fear,
on tragedy.
Yeah.
They want events like this to happen because it fuels the need for faith.
And yet, I still have an assignment left to do. I'm going to demonstrate to you what to do when a storm comes, okay? That's forming into a hurricane. I don't even want to give it a name.
So far, you think, okay, she's going to teach us some safety tips, get to high ground, leave, a certain radius of miles between you and the shoreline.
Not with that staff in hand.
But so far, you think, okay, this she's on to something here. I'm going to keep listening.
It doesn't even deserve a name, but I am going to take authority over it so I can demonstrate once again how you deal with this, because we as believers are over the weather. We are not under the weather.
You're not
Christ
a shot.
had no issue stopping storms.
She shot a laser at you.
The little storm that he dealt with. We are joint heirs with him, and you need to be just as bold and passionate in your authority in this earth. So I'm going to demonstrate to you.
I'm waiting.
I'm waiting.
Give it to me.
The ocean's right there.
Give it to me.
Our ocean is right there, the Atlantic Ocean, and we are north of this storm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it off the coast. I'm going to command it to go out to sea and dissipate. At the same time, because it's growing, when it grows in strength, it's feeding.
Now I've
from
got
a
my
low-pressure
denouemers
system. So
all set. I just need to roll a hard 20, and this will disperse. Now,
I've min-maxed for the last 10 sessions.
There is a risk. I will say there's a risk. If I roll a nat 1, it's going to grow in size. It's going to kill everybody. But I'm willing to take that risk because I have pink hair and a scepter.
Wait a second.
What do you need? You need high pressure. That storm itself has millibars of pressure.
She's really trying to sell herself because she also did some anecdotal research. It's like, hey,
like a quick Google how do hurricanes work?
Yeah. And then she's throwing in little words there with her bullshit to make it sound even more legit.
The lower they go, the stronger the storm. So what do you do?
Oh, yeah.
You have to command the millibars to rise.
Okay. Is millibars even a thing?
Yes.
Oh, it is? Okay, what does it mean?
It is a form of measurement for atmospheric pressure, I believe.
Okay, so she is Googling some stuff.
Yeah, she Googled hard, dude.
Yeah.
This was not a Bing search.
Full on Google. Full on Google.
2 tabs.
So it will dissipate and be downgraded. I'm about to do that.
All right, let's see
I'm
it.
going to take authority.
Is she going to pull out like some type of satellite or like antenna that's going to shoot like electric rays? You know, something that, you know, a lot of meteorologists, scientists do. Are they going to study the sky?
Nope.
No.
So,
She has
Father,
a wooden
as your
scepter with like a weird like turquoise cloth tied to it. Let's see what she does.
daughter, and as a joint heir
I would not mind seeing a reality show with her as a star.
with Jesus Christ.
Fighting
And as a
fighting
king
different
in the
like
spirit
natural disasters with her scepter. I would totally watch that.
realm, I make a ruling that storm will leave this area, will leave the coast. I will not tolerate its presence anywhere on the coast of Florida. And I'm commanding it to leave and get back out in the ocean. At the same time, it will dissipate. So I command the millibars in that hurricane you rise right now.
The midichlorians.
You keep rising and rising and rising, so the storm will be downgraded.
Are you doing those?
And then I'm commanding the high to come and sit on the
I
storm.
thought they like put some production value into it.
So here I go.
I'm ready.
Going to command that storm, and I'm going to hit it.
Oh, she did put some effects
Hit
in.
it
Oh, my
out to
goodness.
sea, and we're going to crush it with our authority. And that's how passionate you need to be. You watch and see that storm will dissipate. It will come to nothing. I will not tolerate you, devil, taking authority in our weather and messing with our weather system. So I take power over all the power of the enemy, driving that storm and using that storm.
Wow.
I would love to hear that she died in the hurricane.
Nah, she probably evacuated.
that
She
would be
probably
just-
boarded her private jet.
Oh, I'm sure she did, but that would just be Mother Nature.
Oh,
Takes
Jesus.
her out. Takes her out completely. That'd be nice.
There's something that's like really endearing and really, really messed up sort of a way here. Because if you just look at this and you take out all of the mentions of God.
I command the weather as well. Don't you laugh. Hello, everybody. I got to get my Pope voice.
Oh, it's the Pope.
Yes.
I thought it might have been Gandalf or Michael the Brown.
I have the true scepter, and that's the scepter between my thighs.
Oh, jeez. Sir, you can't use your penis for
Don't
everything.
interrupt me,
Okay.
my young son. How old are you, by the way?
Oh, I'm an adult, sir.
Oh, well, never mind. Never mind. I heard a little giggle. How old is you over there?
I'm also technically an adult.
Oh, never mind. Do you happen to have a younger brother?
I do.
Sir, you were doing something with your
Oh,
scepter?
excuse me. I am trying to stop the weather from disrupting humanity. So bear with me. I have a scepter. I'm grabbing a hold of my cock. I mean my scepter.
No, yeah, he's got
And I am going to wave it around
just let him. It'll be faster.
and
if he just
jerk
does
it vigorously.
Just need some help at
I
least.
am going to jerk my scepter.
Shut up.
I'm going to jerk my scepter
Just make sure
vigorously.
no one's recording this.
Wiggle it
Oh, this
back
isn't
and
supposed to be live to
forth. I say, get back, Lee! Get back, Lee! Storm!
Oh, God, he's erect.
Kill all the adults and leave the children orphaned! I will take care of all of them! Take that, Irma! Take that, Maria!
Did he get a new soundboard?
How does he lift up that desk when he's sitting down?
Hold on, I'm almost coming. I'm almost winning against the storm. It's almost back. Everybody's silent. I'm there. I'm almost there.
Should we take cover?
All right. Oh, no. I'm not done.
As you get older, it's harder to tell.
All right, Storm, let's push this storm away from all the rich white folk, and we'll move it farther down south to where it's darker, if you know what I mean.
Sir, you don't want to say that.
No, I do want to say
Okay.
that. I love little black boys.
Well, oh, God, you don't want to say that either.
I want them to be fatherless. Wait, they're already fatherless.
Hey, the Rain Man Show will be right back.
Mike
suck.
All right, patreon.com/RainmanDigital. That's right. You can get all of your additional Rain Man digital needs. More Rain Man show, more comic book chaos, Star Wars, Star Trek, DC Comics, all of it at your fingertips when you go to patreon.com/RainmanDigital. We are now offering more shows to our loyal listener base.
More shows, more swag. You can get shirts and all kinds of cool stuff now, too.
Yeah, so head over to patreon.com/RainmanDigital and help us keep this boat afloat, especially during all the storms we're having. We need a stronger boat. We're going to need a bigger boat.
Do you want to hear more, or did you miss a show? No problem. Find us on Stitcher or iTunes. Just search Rain Man.
It's kind of like a piñata filled with condoms. It's the Rain Man Show with Michael Flores.
All right, Thomas.
Yes.
We're back.
We are.
Much calmer.
A little bit more. Yeah. Got it out of our system.
Less offensive.
Well, I never know about that.
Yeah. I kind of felt bad how we ended that last little segment there.
It got a little dark.
I think the live listeners will be the only ones to hear that.
Oh, you think so?
No, I don't censor myself.
I think they're used to it at this point, dude.
What will the show be if you have to start censoring yourself?
Not this show, that's for certain.
It's going to be very... I mean, we did do pretty good shows for the radio, for KROP.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they were pretty good, and we had to be very careful. We walked on eggshells with what we said.
I think it gave Tony a heart condition.
He was silent.
I do remember that.
He was pretty silent.
He did not talk at all.
No, he waited to the uncensored version that came on the following hour. We would do an hour of, terrestrial. I don't want to say censored. We just didn't say the F word. You can pretty much get away with a lot of stuff nowadays on radio. You can't, there's few choice words.
A few, yeah.
Right. But Tony was scared. He never trusted himself. So he always kept quiet. And then he would just come out his shell for the uncensored show right afterwards. We had to tell him to calm down.
A lot, several times.
Yeah.
Several times a minute.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Thomas, we all know that you're a very educated man.
Thank you.
And
it always feels backhanded.
No, you're very, very educated.
Thank you.
And it's always nice to quiz you on things, right?
Yeah.
So
I enjoy it.
Do you really?
I do. Because it gives me either smug self-satisfaction, which is terrible, or it gives me something to research. I have that much of a dork.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little, oh man, maybe I don't have it here. Let me find it. Maybe I don't have it. Maybe we won't be doing anything.
Oh, maybe we won't.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so... this stupid sound bar in front of me that I use, the hotkeys, I keep adding more and more, so things keep getting harder and harder to find.
Yeah, you got just this screen diarrhea.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of, does Thomas know? Okay. Game of Thrones, you aced it. You also did pretty damn well with what was it, American History?
It was.
Yeah.
American History and Game of Thrones, and we, does Thomas know the difference? And you actually did pretty damn well. And we had to end it abruptly because Andrew destroyed the game by giving out answers. You know what? I have one more question here. Let me just for funsies. Okay. You want this one?
Yeah.
Okay. For funsies here. All right. This is the one we couldn't get to. Okay.
Okay.
Who is Jorah Mormont?
Can you spell the name? Jeor?
Jeor. Jeor Mormont.
He is the Knight Commander at Castle Black.
Okay, and remember, this was Game of Thrones for people who are just tuning in. These were Game of Thrones versus American history or American politics in general.
Right.
So, Jeor Mormont.
The Knight Commander of the Night's Watch, Lord Commander of the Night's Watch at Castle Black.
Right.
Father of Jorah Mormont, who is the right-hand man / secretly, not so secretly in love with Daenerys Targaryen.
Okay.
I got one other question for
now, real world, don't you destroy the game again.
hold on, you dick.
Real world, who is John Kerry?
John Kerry was the Democratic representative for the election in 2004. He was a senator who made a big deal about getting a Purple Heart, and I believe Vietnam.
What more modern, more contemporary? What was he recently?
Oh, what was he recently?
He is the 68th United States Secretary of State from 2013 to 2017.
I was not aware of that.
So that's one that you would have gotten wrong.
Secretary of State? I thought that was Hillary Clinton.
He took over.
No kidding.
After Benghazi.
So I would have gotten that one wrong?
Yeah. Next one.
Sort of wrong.
This is one more. Let's see if you know this one.
All
this
right.
is reaching. During what is known as the Clash of Kings, Tyrion Lannister used wildfire to win the battle. Who created or invented wildfire?
I believe wildfire was created by the pyromancers, which were scientists mastering alchemy and basically fire. They used substances. It's kind of like medieval napalm as far as Game of Thrones is concerned.
But you're not right by who, and the fact that you didn't correctly state who.
Aerys Targaryen might have been the one who started that.
But who invented wildfire?
Who actually invented it? I do not know.
The Alchemist Guild.
Okay.
Yeah, look at you messing that one
So
up.
I knew who they were, but I didn't know the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real world. In 1895, a gentleman by the last name of Marconi, an Italian inventor, proved the feasibility of blank when sent and received blank in Italy. He is credited as inventing what?
Oh, God, I know. I should know this.
You should. Because you're talking
telegraph with SOS?
You're talking right now on the thing he invented.
Microphone?
Radio.
Oh, radio.
Yeah. He didn't invent it because it was there, but he learned how to capture it and,
How to capture
and
I
utilize
knew that
it.
name. I could not remember what he did.
See, if Andrew didn't ruin the game, I would have had you.
Yeah, you would have.
I would have had you. Now, what were you going to so rudely interrupt?
So it's
Why?
another quiz question fact about the Mormons.
No. Well, this isn't a Game of
Ask
Thrones
me
show.
later on our own time.
This is not a Game of Thrones show.
What's their house motto?
Here I
Andrew,
stand.
you know what? You've been doing... Oh, you answered him?
I did, yeah. I couldn't help it.
You have been doing so well, Andrew.
Oh, thanks.
No, it's not a compliment. It's coming back to bite you.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of Game of Thrones, okay, I've been meaning to get to this for about 2 or 3 months now, but I keep getting upset. I mean, Thomas, you know that I'm at my wits with the network, meaning I'm struggling to get things that we need, making money. We're at the end. We're at the end of the line here.
Right, I've heard this discussion.
Yeah,
yes.
we're at the end of the line, and we need to get someplace fast. But then, to make me more mad, okay, I troll YouTube, right?
Right.
Okay, to read things and learn things. I mean, not learn from YouTube, but tutorials, and I post a lot of things there, and I troll YouTube to kind of see what's going on. And I find a Game of Thrones, not a podcast, not a discussion or breakdown, but I guess it's a breakdown, but it's kind of like
rough definition.
Well, you decide for yourself what this is, and then I'm going to tell you why it aggravates me. Okay. This is a season 7, episode 2. He calls it a preview breakdown, Game of Thrones for season 7. Okay.
So spoilers for people.
Here we go.
Prediction video. Today I want to discuss some of the things that we seen in the preview teaser for episode 2 and a few other things from the premiere that may give us some clues as to what we may see this Sunday. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Let's start off with Daenerys Targaryen.
Wow.
At the end of episode 1, we see Daenerys and company finally arrive on Dragonstone, which is her ancestral home that she hasn't been to since she was just a baby. This was something most of us have been waiting for a very long time. Now that Daenerys is in Westeros, she can set up Dragonstone as a base of operations while her and her allies devise a plan to take back what Daenerys feels is rightfully hers. The last scene of episode 1 shows us that Daenerys plans to get started right away. She asks Tyrion, "Shall we begin?" Daenerys and Tyrion will hold their own little small council meeting.
No personality.
Holy crap, so monotone.
No
Holy
personality.
shit.
No reading skills whatsoever. I mean, in college and in high school, you learn about how to talk.
Read aloud, class.
How you read outlines, and then you go from there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Supposed to.
I mean, how does this guy have 250,000 views and almost 1 million subscribers on YouTube?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I mean, let's look at that. Let's listen to this one more time.
Meeting with Varys, Missandei, Grey Worm, Theon, Yara, Alaria, and even Lady Elena is there too. It's kind of hard to see her sitting there in a chair, but you can kind of make out her hat. And if you've been staying up to date with all
the names wrong.
Yeah, he can't even pronounce the fucking character names.
Okay, that's not my point.
No, I know.
My point is
right, but it ties into.
But if you're gonna do this, do it right. Like you said, learn how to fucking read.
Yeah, that's what I'm focusing on.
Yeah.
Here. How does this guy have like 1 million subscribers and millions of views combined on his videos? It makes me like, I want to dial it in. It's like all the hours of work, the 65, 70-hour work weeks or more, as Bobby pointed out. When I said I worked all those hours, he said, well, actually, I think you worked more than that. Let's say 90. I'm just going to dial it in, Thomas.
With those numbers.
Why do we work so hard to create show notes and do research and have personalities and be somewhat humorous when there's this shit? This guy has zero. I guarantee he puts zero marketing dollars. Some reason sometimes these shows catch fire,
literally.
And they go.
Well, that's the thing is I've heard because you're not wrong. There's a metric shit ton of Game of Thrones series channels on YouTube. Everyone has a goddamn fucking theory. There's only one that I have any credit to because he does do research and he's interesting to listen to and he ties it back to the books. But this guy's just playing clips, basically just playing the episode.
Let me be the judge of that. Send me the link.
All right. I will send you a link.
Send it through Facebook right now because I'm going to be the judge right now.
All right. Let me. I'll have to bring it up
because I'm going to see if you know what you're talking about because this is just horse shit. It amazes me that things like this can sustain an audience.
It is kind of bullshit when you think about it.
And people are commenting, saying, "Oh, thank you for this. This really helps me understand the show." He did nothing.
No.
And he has 300,000+ views on this one video.
What's even more crazy is this dude seems to upload a video every other day, and every single one of them breaks 100,000 views. Like clock.
This makes me want to quit. It makes me want to turn the mics off, turn the lights off in the studio, quit spending, countless thousands of dollars each month to keep this place afloat. Because this guy probably makes more money on ad revenue with one video than we make in a month.
I can see that.
I'm begging people to pledge on Patreon. I'm begging for a fucking dollar. Fucking dying over here.
All right, hold on. I got a link coming here.
Yeah, send me the link.
Now, this guy, you may find him droning, but he does a lot of research with his stuff. So I jumped ahead to a little bit into one video.
Okay, you sent me the video, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was years ago before season 6, and then season 6 ends up confirming this idea.
Okay.
In a different way.
Okay, so this guy, hold on, before we play it, I'm going to be looking for 3 things.
Okay.
And I'm going to push the eject button if it sucks.
That's fine.
So stupid. This guy has 1.1 million views.
On this video, yes.
I'm looking for production value, which means a produced intro, maybe a bed of music, maybe an outro. I'm looking for a well-tuned mic.
Okay.
And a little bit of personality. Right?
Okay.
Is that fair?
That's fair. I would say
no.
Look at the content. They're well-researched.
Nope.
All right.
Sustained in his brutal and really quite gratuitous fight with Brienne.
He's talking in a tunnel. Okay, 1 point off.
Right.
A fight which in the books never happened. The injuries that put down the Hound were
It literally sounds like he's talking in a tin cup.
This is older, yes.
It sounds like he's talking like this.
It does.
Welcome to the Game of Thrones discussion on Gravedigger. Will the Hound return? I don't pay attention to my mic settings because, quite frankly, I don't give a fuck because people keep listening anyways and I'm making tons of money on ad revenue. Meanwhile, Michael Flores is putting 90 hours of work week, not having sex and not being a good father so that he can reach a meager wage to sustain himself as well as his hosts on the network. Please enjoy the show. Meanwhile, I'm stuck in a tunnel. Enjoy the rest of this discussion.
from the fight at the Crossroads Inn, but in any case we are led to believe that Sandor Clegane is dead. However, we don't actually...
Okay, I'll give him 1 point here. 1 point he did, Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
He did just cross... He has a little bit of video production. He's
does.
using video and photos when he's discussing the characters and using video for the scenes that he's discussing. I'll give him a point for that. He knows his way around Adobe Premiere.
What I like about them, not the sound production.
Hold on, Thomas. What do you like about it?
Not the sound production in any way.
Okay, go ahead.
But the research. He gets exact quotes from... The exact quotes from the
You like
books.
my research, Thomas?
It's better than some guy just talking about what he saw last night that we all fucking saw.
All right. So you like my research. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Do you think I know more than you in Game of Thrones? Am I more knowledgeable than you, Thomas?
This video guy or you?
I am talking right now in character.
Right. He does. He does know more than me on Game of Thrones.
He does or I do?
You do.
Oh, I do.
You
so
do.
I know more than you, Thomas.
Oh, you want me to say that?
We see him die. There's a theory, known as the Gravedigger theory, that the Hound not only lives, but appears in a Brienne chapter of A Feast for Crows after his supposed death in a storm of swords.
Okay, this guy does work. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he does the work.
I
That's the only thing
don't
I
know
like
if
about
it's
it.
worthy of 1 million views.
The only reason he's gotten a million views is because his stuff, compared to literally everyone else I've seen out there, is actually researched.
Now, all right, I'm in character now. So, Thomas, now answer this truthfully here.
Okay.
Is my content better than the things that you guys get into in Weird West Radio, Supernatural The Crossroads, and the Star Trek From the Holodeck, as well as Star Wars From the Back to Tank? I mean, there's real, off-the-cuff, improv thoughts based on knowledge and intelligence. Do you think I have that, or is this all written down and planned out?
Oh, his is all written down and planned out. Absolutely.
Okay, so which one is better?
I'd say ours is better.
Me or...
Ours is better than yours.
I'm not part of you. I'm not part of you. I don't know why you keep saying ours. Is my
Royal Hour?
Michael Flores' work and the work of the Rain Man Digital Network is far superior.
I like that you said Michael Flores first. I do like that. You could exclude the rest of the hosts.
Oh.
I'm just
That's
saying.
me too.
So you have to admit then that Michael Flores is definitely much better than me and my tin can microphone.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
No, it is ridiculous how many numbers these shows get just because Game of Thrones is more popular than anything else.
I sold my soul to the devil to get these numbers.
You could have done that too.
And I also sacrificed my mother.
Oh, Jesus.
And my dick.
That got dark real quick.
Oh, man. All right, so we got a little distracted here. Oh, man, this microphone's all hot now because I pushed the pop filter really close. All right. So, does Thomas know? Let's get back to that really fast.
Okay. What's the topic this time?
You'll find out.
Oh.
You'll find out.
It's hard.
Oh, wait.
Can't you just give it to me?
That's the wrong one.
Is that a clue?
I don't know where it's at. Where did I go? What did I do with this? Here, you guys talk for a moment. I have no idea where it's at.
So what do you think the subject is going to be?
Well, with that clue, I think it's going to be about sex.
Yeah.
I think the rest of the show should all be... I think all of us should talk in character, and we can be this guy from Thomas's go-to podcast of choice.
I will say...
I just like that Thomas listens to me when I sound like shit.
Thomas picked a very good representation of the Game of Thrones
But how does
theory
it feel,
crafting.
Thomas, listening to someone with such inferior sound quality when you have such a well-tuned sounding show and you sound so zeroed in and I sound like I'm in the bottom of a shit toilet?
As opposed to a regular toilet. That part is infuriating to see people whose quality is not up to snuff get far more recognition. But I will say but that first link you sent was god awful. That was painful just to listen to the monotone.
Where was there was a link where it was two people talking in an open kitchen room with tile
just
floor.
someone's house with tile. Yeah, that's
on like a MacBook, onboard microphone.
Everyone, for some reason, with Game of Thrones, everyone has a fucking theory.
It's because nobody knows what's going on,
and everyone watches all the videos.
Let me just say something. You said an onboard mic on a MacBook, but let me just say something. There's a gentleman, I believe, on your network that goes by the name of Clint Felton, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, he does Weird West Radio with the Lord and Savior Michael Flores. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. I don't know about the exact description of.
No, I know I've done research on the network. Okay. He's definitely one of the best. And Clint Felton did a show about 4 or 5 years ago on his iPhone. He did the entire podcast on his iPhone, and it sounded so good, it wowed Michael Flores to bring him onto the network. So please, don't use excuses like using an onboard mic. I mean, people can make shows sound good if they really wanted to.
Oh, we didn't say they didn't want to. Just saying this guy didn't. People don't try these days.
I mean, there's also a blind man on that syndicates on your network as well.
That's
I believe
true.
By the name of Chris Chandler. He does the Gut Punch News every week at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard? Yeah, Pacific Standard Time, I believe. And
Eastern Standard.
And he's blind. And he manages to also put together great sound. Meanwhile, I sound like I'm at the bottom of a shit bucket.
Shit bucket. It's degraded now from a toilet.
And I get millions of views. I definitely did sell my soul.
Did you find Michael Flores' toilet out in the woods? Is that what you're...
I'm actually broadcasting right now at the bottom of the biodegradable shit bag that he took a shit in.
Jesus. No, I think that it's silly that so many people get good views for this stuff.
I think that
But hold on. The guy is just... Then we saw the dragons happen, and the dragons were cool. Like, it's like a first grade presentation of what happened last week on television. And the thing that bothers me about those is constantly it is just observation. We saw this
My son did a research project on bees just last week, and it sounded a lot more
interesting.
Well
produced.
Yeah, it was actually a lot more produced than my own podcast.
There was a trifold board and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, a room full of fourth graders fell asleep during my show.
That first one is just observations. They don't go into a lot beyond they don't go into character motivations. They don't go into why this matters so much for any of them. It doesn't go into the symbolism or analogies or a deeper level of anything.
So I'm
for
going
one of the most popular for the most popular show.
So here's my thought behind this. He's not making these episodes or these little videos for people who have seen the series. He's making these people for people who don't have HBO or don't know how to pirate anything.
You actually think my audience is people, they come to watch my videos because they're so interested in the show, but they don't want to take the time out to watch the show?
Not that they don't want to take the time out to watch the show, because they're
if you're listening to my show, dear sir, please fuck off and don't listen, because your reasoning is completely flawed.
I'm just saying, I think that his audience is people who don't have access to the show and who don't know.
The first guy that we were talking about?
Yes, the first guy.
The droning guy. Not the one we have on the phone right now from the shit bucket. Or shit bag, sorry.
Correct, yes.
No, the first guy, yeah.
The first guy. He's making videos for people who don't have access to the show, don't know how to pirate, or don't, through religious views.
Hold on, he's shitting.
Someone's actually taking a shit on me. I'm gonna have to vacate really fast. I'll be back shortly, guys. I'm gonna go to a quick break because I gotta get out of here. This guy's about to shit on me. I have to find a new place to broadcast. I'll be right back. Oh, I didn't get out in time.
No, but those episodes are just... Yeah. I get what you're trying to argue. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is, like Mike said, nobody's going to fucking watch you cannot condense an hour-long show into 10 fucking minutes just because you don't have HBO when it's the most popular pirated show of all time. There's ways to fucking watch it.
Sure.
Everyone shares Netflix. One guy's got HBO Go in your office that everyone fucking uses. Like, let's get real. It is frustrating to see that, though. Yeah. More than anything else.
All right, let's do this.
All right, the question time.
I know that you know that she knows that he knows. Hell, even the dog knows. But does Thomas know?
All right, Thomas.
Mm.
Do you know?
Maybe. What are we talking about?
Do you know STDs?
Oh, Jesus.
We all know you as the bakery man and the yeast infection extraordinaire.
Right.
I like that one.
I don't.
Yeast
but
infection
whatever.
extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire.
All right. Does Thomas know STDs? Are you ready, Thomas?
I am ready.
All right. Let's do this. Here we go. Uncommon in North America, transmitted during sexual contacts or through skin contacts. It mainly affects men and causes sores and painful ulcers on penis and other genital areas. I'm going to warn everybody now that it's going to get a little gruesome here for the next few minutes. Easily cured with antibiotics, it can lead to complications if untreated. The chances of transmitting the infection get lower when using condoms, however. It should be remembered that it might be enough to touch the skin of an infected person to contract it.
Okay.
What am I, Thomas?
I'm going to guess gonorrhea.
Not even close.
No. Really?
Yeah, it's, I want to say concroid. I never even heard of it.
Concroid?
Concroid.
Where the fuck did you pull that one?
It's on the most top 10 list here. I think I'm pronouncing it right. It's CHANTROID. Concroid.
Okay, I've never heard that one.
All right, here's the next one. Thomas, that's 1 point against you.
1 point against me. Shit.
I feel like this game, I definitely feel like this game here is going to send us into the 1 million downloads. I think we're going to be competing very soon with the Game of Thrones podcast.
Okay.
Chlamydia. Oh, I just gave it away. Oh, that's the worst. All right, here we go. Also known as blank, a small blank residing on genital hair and skin. They may cause itching, irritation, mild fever, or have no symptoms at all. It is often easy to spot white blank or blank themselves with naked eye.
I like how you just get blanks for half the fucking definition.
And they are typically spread during sex or other close skin contacts. It is important to know that condoms do not prevent blank transmission.
I'm going to say crabs, a.k.a. pubic louse.
And you would be correct.
Yeah.
Look at you, Thomas.
Did you know that pubic lice can actually reside in your eyebrows and eyelashes as well?
Didn't need that information.
Michael just shaking his head.
God damn it, man.
I'm going to give you to the Game of Thrones podcast guy. I'm going to say, look, I'll trade you one host, and you don't have to give me anything back. Hey, hold on a second here. I'm having issues with my system.
Is that what you tell the doctor?
Yes.
He's got to put more porn on.
So stupid. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Next question, Thomas.
All right.
Here we go. Blank is a widespread sexually transmitted disease, most common among young people under 24. Blank has few symptoms and is often difficult to diagnose. Men may feel burning during urination, have abnormal discharge from penis, or pain in the testicles. Most women do not observe any symptoms or may also have uncommon discharge and painful urination. Before I continue, listeners out there, if you know the answer, please tweet Rain Man Digital. And if you get any of these correct, I'll give you a free Rain Man shirt.
Ooh, there we go.
So if you know these, tweet us now at Rain Man Digital. Andrew is standing by waiting to see if you guys know your STDs. The infection needs to be treated immediately as it might lead to genital, rectal, or throat infections, as well as develop serious complications, especially in women, including obstruction of the fallopian tubes, infertility, or ectopic pregnancy. I have no idea what that is.
Ectopic pregnancy. It's when...
Look at you
it's when
knowing
the baby's
that.
flipped.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Blank is easy to treat on early stages. Thomas, do you know what this is? Hold on. Take a second. I'll give you a few seconds.
Jesus, this isn't helping me think. I'm going to say...
Hold on. We're not there. I'm still letting you think. All right, Thomas, do you know? Time is up.
Oh, God. I want to say... it's one of these. It's either gonorrhea. I'm going to go with gonorrhea. I think it's that.
And you would be correct.
Yay.
Good job. How does that make you feel? Hold on. And you just transmitted gonorrhea. I think this might be the worst bit in the history of...
No, we've done worse things than this.
All right, next question is blank and blank lead to liver inflammation and may end up in death? If you know the answer before I'm done, Thomas, you can.
Cut you off.
Cut me off.
All right.
Now, listeners, if you're tweeting at Rainman Digital, or you can even shoot me an email or text. No, I'm sorry, not text. I won't get it. Scratch that last thought. You have to send it at Rainman Digital. If you know this before, then please go ahead and tweet now. But I'm going to time check it and make sure it came in before it gave the answer. And we've moved on, so if you tweet us now for the last one, which was gonorrhea, then guess what? You don't win the shirt. All right. Blank and blank lead to liver inflammation and may end up in death.
Do I leave time for this one?
No, any if you know it, do it. It is typically...
It is hepatitis A or C.
You were partially correct. We'll go ahead and give you that one. You'll give that one. It's C and B. You are correct.
I don't know how I feel about getting these right.
It's better than getting them wrong.
All right.
What?
Here we go.
That shit toilet.
Here we go. Next one. Blank is one of the most common diseases transmitted through all types of sexual contacts, as well as simple touching. Blank, oral blank, can cause blisters or cold sores on the lips.
Herpes.
Yeah.
Herpes
that was
simplex.
an easy one.
Yep.
You are a winner tonight, Thomas.
Ooh, so
oh boy.
As a winner of Did You Know STD Edition, I actually have a gift for Thomas.
Oh God, no, not like that.
It's an actual STD.
No, it's so you have a reputation here at the network, and you know your STDs.
Oh my God.
He actually has something. What the hell
There
is
you go.
this?
Jesus Christ.
That's for you, bud.
He's been.
Oh my God.
He's been waiting.
Have you seen this?
No. What is it? Oh my God. What is it?
It's a hat. Do you see that?
Oh my God. Can someone take video, please?
Somebody's going to put a picture on the Invasion Force.
Eric, post a picture. How good is your camera, Tom? Andrew? How good is your camera?
It's terrible.
Okay, well then
good
use
start.
mine. Use mine. Just ignore the text messages where I talk
It's
shit
a hat
about you.
that has a picture, a little patch of a loaf of bread, and it says Yeast Beast.
Oh wait, let me turn off these sounds.
Yeah, kind of not. That doesn't fit the theme right there. It says Yeast Beast. That is why.
Yeast Beast.
Someone had to see you make this.
Andrew, did you make it?
He did.
Did you really?
He make this.
Okay, I'm going to give kudos to Andrew for actually doing something for the show.
So the embroidery is actually all hand done, as you can tell, because it looks like garbage.
I hate.
But it took me actually 2 days to find an appropriate patch.
Okay, let me look at it. You made
Here,
the patch?
Give this to him.
Did you design the patch?
No, he found the patch.
Okay, let me.
Which worked for the hat. It is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
This is so terrible, but
it's like a straight up loaf of Wonder
This is
Bread.
really bad, but I like it. Here,
the shoddy craftsmanship just sells the entire persona of the
Thomas
hat.
needs to wear it. Have Thomas wear it.
Here we go. I'm not going to regret this in any way.
I have
right?
head crabs.
Oh, thanks. You just put this hat on.
Head crabs. Yeah, go to put that shirt on or that hat. Let me see what it looks like. Why don't you stand up and model for us?
No,
you know what? You know what?
Just fine.
No. Are you doing video right now?
Yes, I am.
Are you doing live video? Hey, you know what? Turn that off. Go to Invasion Force and post a live video of Thomas. We're going to go to a very, very fast break.
There we go.
So we can get the video up. We'll be right back.
Take the cameras and make our own Bon Jovi video! Light camera action!
All right, we're back. And also Facebook Live. Head over to facebook.com/RainmanDigital. Check out the video that we're going to be doing right now. We're going to be showcasing Thomas's new hat that's going to be sweeping the nation.
Oh, God. Sweeping the nation? Really? That's how we're describing this? You have too much time on your hands. Do you realize that? You really fucking do.
All right, let's go ahead and strut your stuff. I want to see you model that. Keep the camera this way, okay? All right, model. Stand up, Thomas. Model that hat for us. Show us how sexy you are. Go ahead. Give us a sassy look. Come on, you can do it.
Get one that I am too sexy for Milan. Too sexy for Milan. New York and Japan.
I like the ponytail that sticks out in the back. It adds an extra cool. Have you ever seen Wolf Creek? Because you look like the killer.
I'm too sexy for your party.
Oh, man. Yeast Beast. Maybe Bobby can spruce that up, make it a little better. But I do like the Yeast Beast. I like that.
Yeah.
The logo is, you definitely get an A for effort.
Oh, yeah, he does.
He gets an A for effort. At least, see, this makes me not want to quit. When I have someone actually like take part in the show and do something like that, that makes me not hate the network. Because I've been on a low point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I made a mistake by thinking people care.
Oh, jeez.
It's
that
true.
Doesn't sound dark.
I'm talking about the network. I'm not talking about the listeners. The listeners are great. I'm talking about the host. I made a mistake, Thomas, thinking that people care.
People weren't determined to model off Yeast Beast.
Yeah.
The latest summer fashion for the beginning of fall.
Yeah, I like that. Andrew's really trying to do a good job.
He is.
I'm sorry, Massa. I'm sorry. I fucked up one too many.
That might be the worst thing you've ever said.
I fucked up one too many times, sir. Please don't hate me. I'm going to make a Yeast Beast hat for you.
Oh, God, that was terrible.
Oh, man. And by the way, this is how I'm now broadcasting about Game of Thrones from the bottom of a shit bucket. All right. All right, that's enough video. Please get rid of it.
Save that and upload it to the page.
So you didn't even finish it.
Oh, for God's sakes, Andrew. Okay, every one step forward is like 3 steps back.
All right, are you ready for news?
I can be.
I can be. There's just no answer, no follow-up, not a yes, not a commitment.
I was busy practicing my videography skills.
I mean, we can continue this STDs, but I think we proved our point. Should we do a couple more?
We can while we give him time to set up.
Let's do one more.
All right, let's do one more. Hold on. Oh. Hold on. Let me... Okay, I'll be there in a second. Hold on. Don't finish. All right, hold on here. Let me... What a douche. Who's doing that?
I think that's just something you have set up.
Here we go. Blank, simply blank, is definitely the most dangerous STD, leading to acquired immune deficiency syndrome, or blank. The virus blank does have severe damage to immune system, which eventually leads to death from any other disease.
AIDS.
There you go. Good job. That was way too easy.
Too many blanks. It took a second there.
Here's the hardest one here.
All right.
The human blank or blank is a group of viruses that can lead to warts, genital warts.
Human papillomavirus or HPV.
Oh, you are a nasty.
Hot damn, dude. Off the cuff. Yeast Beast.
Oh, God.
You know what? When you
never gonna live that down.
When you are a nasty like Thomas, you have to know the dangers.
You gotta be well educated, right?
Yeah. When you're journeying through the nasty adventures of Thomas Cowley, who dares to go down on a woman when she is discharging? That's Thomas Cowley is his name. No discharge puts off Thomas.
Jesus.
You're like the Indiana Jones of STDs.
I'm Star Trek. Boldly go.
Yeah. I'll go with that one.
There we go. Discover new lands previously untouched.
Yeah.
They're not previously untouched.
Now you've got weird humping sounds. Is this your meditation?
That's
I
disturbing.
think I need Star Trek to be a little louder because it just sounds like sex.
I'm trying. Unfortunately, I was in character so long that I lost skill. I'm no longer good. I have zero talent now. All right, are you ready for news yet, Andrew?
I'm ready.
I've been trying to stall.
You've stalled long enough. I'm ready to erupt into the news.
No one's
Are
ready
we not
for that.
doing the STD thing anymore?
What's that, a basketball? Oh, God. I forgot about this.
All right, Andrew, take us away.
Hours after Hurricane Irma, Miami-Dade County tickets residents for code violations. Mere hours after Hurricane Irma, Miami-Dade County was ticketing residents for building code violations on their wrecked properties.
This song really does make Andrew even sound better.
It even makes him sound like a badass reading some, horror story.
Yeah, talk a little. Keep going for a second. Start over.
Mere hours after Hurricane Irma, Miami-Dade County was ticketing residents for building code violations on their wrecked properties.
He's trying a little bit, but it works.
Says Lil Perez was helping his neighbors remove fallen trees blocking the street when a county code enforcer rolled up and issued him a safety notice for having a downed fence.
Wait, hold on. What's the headline again?
Hours after Hurricane Irma, Miami-Dade County tickets residents for code violations.
Wow. They were just waiting to collect.
Yeah. That is the biggest douchebag move.
I guarantee you, like the Florida Police Department was like, all right, guys, here's our chance. The local government is in the red, and we're going to go ahead and make sure we earn a few extra bucks after this storm. I want you to hit the streets as soon as the water recedes and the streets are safe to drive in, and the little black children are now safe at home, but their home is still filled in water, but the streets are, drivable. Go ahead and go out there, Thomas, and start, Detective Thomas, go out there and start ticketing folks.
All right, you got it, sir.
We need to earn some bucks.
This is the paycheck you were looking for.
Do you want me to bring anybody in or just ticket them like a total asshole?
No, just ticket all of them.
Right, asshole initiative. Got it.
Trash.
Got it. Okay. Now, what if they don't have a home? Is that worth multiple tickets for as many violations as I can write up?
I want you to get them on loitering.
That's why you're the chief, man. That's why you're the chief. I didn't even think of that.
If they have no home, if their home got swept to the ocean, guess what? Get them on loitering.
Got it.
Yes.
Understood.
They're walking aimlessly. They have nowhere to go. That's loitering.
If they have a chair in the ocean, I can get them for a boating fine without a license.
Yes, boating without a license.
And
if they're trying to eat because they have no food because Hurricane Irma took it, and they're trying to fish, I want you to check them for a fishing license.
Got it. I was already on there, but again, this is why you're the chief.
That's why I get paid the big bucks, son. Someday you'll be able to sit in this chair.
If only I could be like him.
Someday soon. Someday soon. Just keep your mouth, uninfected.
The official told Perez that the downed fence, which encloses a pool, was a safety hazard, and that if it wasn't fixed by the time he returned...
The whole fucking city's a safety hazard right now, you asshole.
Perez would be hit with a fine.
You're resisting arrest. That's also a fine.
It's going to cost you.
The official then hung the safety citation on the portion of Perez's fence that remained standing.
What a dick face.
What a dick.
Leaving him and his neighbors to finish cleaning the debris from their street.
What a dickhole.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
According to WS...
The fucking balls.
I don't know if I should admire the swagger or be pissed off.
Dude, that's just... You are such a tiny dick little asshole.
I don't know. I kind of admire the initiative. I wish I had that type of initiative on this network.
Oh.
Over here making it.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Hey, but you're not finding folks and sending the money to Rain Man.
Yeah. According to, I should find people for not having the Rain Man digital app on their phone.
Yeah.
Write myself a big old
You would be the first one. You would be the first. Hey, Andrew, since you said that, Oh.
He doesn't.
Where do you find the Rain Man digital app at?
You can find it on the Apple Store, through iTunes, through your mobile device, or through your MacBook, or if you're an Android sort of a feller, find it on the Google Play Store or anywhere you could find apps for your mobile device.
And what do you search?
Rain Man Digital TV.
Digital TV.
What?
Just Rain Man Digital app. I don't know.
I honestly don't know. Here's what I looked at him. He turned it into a question. He was not confident in his answer, and then he added TV in a panic.
He just said TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what we are.
There's a video. There was, when I had the app, when it still worked with my phone.
I don't want to hear that reasoning.
There was a portion of the app that was Rain Man Digital
I'm
TV.
not going to do this today. I'm not.
This was the next news talk.
Well, what else do we have in the news? Andrew was trying.
He was doing so good.
He was trying to please Master. And I'm going to put him back in the bottle. Sorry, Genie. Go ahead.
For the next news topic, we have a mum needs 2 operations after being bitten by a spider while on the toilet. A
mother, that sound drop.
A mother of 4 has told of how she was struck down with illness after she was bitten by a garden spider while she was sitting on the toilet. Lauren Bodie, age 27, was sitting on the toilet when she spotted a red mark on her left leg. The English mother didn't think much of it, but then the next day she was in agony. Lauren didn't think
spider bite, yeah.
Lauren didn't think anything of the red mark until it became painful the next day, according to her Facebook post. I could barely put any weight on the leg, she told The Sun. Miss Bodie said it kept getting more red, bigger, and it looked like it was full of pus. It was really bizarre. I'd never seen anything like it in my life, she said.
Like a wound that you should go to the doctor for because you don't recognize it?
Sounds like an STD that Thomas knows.
Oh,
Her first trip to the hospital ended up with doctors prescribing her with antibiotics and sending her home, but just 2 days later, she became more sick. I was shivering. I had a red line running down my thigh, and the bitten area was oozing pus, she said. After another trip back to the hospital, she was admitted and put on an antibiotic drip.
It's not antibiotic, it's venom, you dumbass.
After discovering the 10-centimeter deep bite, the doctors said they had to operate. 10 centimeters, that's huge. It was such a big hole that they had to pack it. It couldn't be stitched. I had to go back every other day to have it seen to, Miss Bodie said. She was also on antibiotics for a month after the operation. It wasn't just Miss Bodie that was hospitalized, but also her ex-boyfriend Luke, who had been looking after the children during her hospitalization, who ended up in the hospital after being bitten by a spider on his testicles.
Oh!
Wow.
Dude, move! Get a goddamn exterminator!
Yeah, it's time to get out.
Fearing the spider was lurking around, Miss Bodie cleaned her house top to bottom and bleached the children's playhouse. Miss Bodie said he had to have 2 operations for 2 different bites, according to her Facebook. However, a few weeks later, when she was lying in bed with one of her sons, she felt a bite on her back and rushed to the hospital again. This time, the surgeons had to take a chunk of my skin from my lower back, even removed some of my tattoo. I was gutted, she said. The wound is quite deep, about 7 centimeters. It's not very nice.
Jesus.
I've been left with bad scars on my leg and back.
Might as well have an STD, right, Thomas?
Well, at least I won't damage your skin like that, I guess.
The spider didn't get away unharmed after the mom spotted it on a dressing-up outfit a few weeks later. She grabbed a glass and trapped the critter. She believes the spider was a woodlouse spider.
Okay, continue.
Sorry. Cruel.
Andrew's not used to people not ignoring him, so he's like stressing out. Is this thing on? Am I still here right now? Am I all alone in this world?
Cruel? I think not. I had a huge plaster on my back, a scar on my thigh, and I couldn't bear to think what happened if that thing bit me or one of my kids again, Ms. Bodie said. She looked it up online and said it appeared to be a woodlouse.
So call an exterminator the first time and not the third time you get bit, goddammit. How about that?
Exactly. All right, what else do I have in the news, Andrew? What else do we have in the news?
R. Kelly's accuser claims she was trained to please him sexually.
Damn.
What else is there to say about R. Kelly that hasn't already been said before?
Damn.
He's an upstanding guy. Oh, you want the truth. Sorry.
The socially inept but legendary singer-songwriter producer has a storied history of questionable sexual choices, which recently came to a head this summer.
Yeah, he does.
BuzzFeed published a bombshell story about...
You admire him just a little bit, Mike?
No, not at all.
A bombshell story about an alleged sexual cult being orchestrated by Kelly. Despite an incredible amount of research in the initial story and then follow-ups that came after, Kelly vehemently denies any wrongdoing. That, however, hasn't stopped his alleged victims from speaking out. Geronda Pace is the latest...
We have some audio.
It's a woman, and she trains you to please him sexually.
This is one of the accusers.
So she trained me for everything that, I was doing. She told me how to please him, and she also taught me, what I like.
How did they do it?
Like, how did you meet her? How were you introduced to her?
I got invited to his tour bus. So I went out there to his tour bus, and you have him naked, and you have her naked.
Lucky.
And I'm looking like, okay, what is this? Because Rob is the one who took my virginity. So I was like,
That's his brother.
yeah, so what's going on? And he's like, don't worry about it. Because I guess he saw that I was looking uneasy. Yeah. And I wanted to know, what am I doing? And that's when he told me to look at her, and he said, she's going to teach you everything you need to know. So she's going to please you. And he told me to remove my clothes, and that's when me and her engaged in sexual activity. And she was doing everything. Like, I didn't know. Like, I was 16. I didn't know.
Scared? What was how were you feeling when all that was happening?
I was scared, but cause I was like really nervous. And he's like, just take your clothes off and she'll teach you everything. And I'm like, okay. So I just went along with whatever he was asking me, but I was very scared, and he picked that up.
You know what? She was 16, which she keeps focusing on the fact that he taught her how to please him and to please herself.
Right.
If she wasn't 16, I don't find an issue with that. I don't know. There's a lot of relationships where the men, or vice versa, the women are older and they teach the other about sex.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the psychology of this. I mean, it is very dominating, but he's a dominating predator. And if you're a woman an able-bodied woman who's willingly dropping your clothes and having sex with the other woman just like that, I mean, come on. I find it really hard to sympathize. Am I being an asshole here?
I don't think so, because I too find it kind of hard to sympathize. Yes, they're 16.
You know
but
what you do? You turn around and
leave.
you get your fucking ass out of that bus if you're not down. No, what you did is you took your clothes off and you had sex with the female counterpart. I don't know. Yes, she's naive. She's guilty of being naive. And R. Kelly is guilty of statutory rape.
Yeah,
and
he's not guilty.
He's not guilty. But if she was 18, no harm, no foul. The youngest woman I ever dated was 18.
Okay.
And I was 24. And I felt a little weird about it.
Right.
But I didn't know she was 18. She was definitely 18. I know that for a fact. She was attractive. She was hot. And she was young at sex. And when you're an older dude who's experienced at the time, I did teach her a lot. Am I being a predator? Because I'm teaching her about her own body and her own sexuality? No! She willingly was a participant. I think the problem here that they're not focusing on is the fact that she was 16. That should be the focus, not that he taught her how to have sex and how to orgasm.
You cannot put 100% on that because you were 16. Kids who are in high school, even younger than that, are having sex,
threesomes and sex and
That's
orgies.
Happening. We're trusting them to drive cars. I know at 16, I was competent enough to make decisions about the other sex. And this is the fact of the matter is, it should be that he did something wrong with someone who was underage, but she shouldn't have gotten on the fucking bus.
That should be the focus, though, is the statutory rape. Yeah. Not, he taught me how to have sex and to please him.
Well, that's just weird for, I guess, this scenario, but it's not unheard of.
Yeah, it's very, very common in relationships where one of the parties are older than the other. I know young friends. I was never in this scenario where my young buddies would date an older woman, and they learned a lot from that older broad. It's
the plot of several movies.
Yeah. The Graduate. Still, to this day, God damn, I love Miss Robinson. Robinson. That's right. God bless her.
We all remember her.
God bless her. It was the best thing that ever happened to me when I was a kid.
Oh, Jesus.
I watched that movie.
Tells you
that he's going to give you a spanking, where does that lead to? Is there fear?
A hand with some force, not enough to punch, coming into contact with another human being.
I hate talk shows.
You fucking idiot.
Where does the spanking lead to? Where do you think?
Where is there?
We went and got
That
ice
is
cream.
Very frightening. Like, he would slap
Like, what the fuck did you expect?
We went for a walk in the park.
you in
He
your
said he was
face.
going to spank me, and next thing I knew, I'm on a roller coaster.
Yes, it's very frightening. Like, he would slap you in your face, and he would physically, like, harm you. And he would put you in a room, and he would lock you in the room for days.
And that's a problem right there.
I feel sorry for her because she was young.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of women and men who like to be dominated. It's a slippery slope. It's a very slippery slope. You have to be careful nowadays. It sucks in certain sexual encounters because 1 minute the slapping is fine, the beating is fine, the choking to near suffocation is fine, and then suddenly
it's a fine line.
You have to be careful.
Gotta have a safe word.
Even safe words, man. What if they decide not to like you and they say, hey, this person did this?
Yeah.
You know, it happens. That's why you only choke your wife. Go ahead.
So was this person at the beginning of the audio clip, did it say that she was on or they invited her to the tour bus?
Yeah.
So, and the first gentleman that she had sex with was R. Kelly's brother. Is that right?
Let me just say something really fast. These things happen all the time. Remember TLC and those sexy hot women at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. My brother was under 18. Those women were in their mid to late 20s. They brought him and another of our under 18 friends on stage during their concert, grinded on them, and body humped them. Where's the outcry? Can you imagine if grown men in their 30s, late 20s, 22, brought underage minor girls on stage at the time and dry humped them?
Both of those are totally unacceptable, and that's something that I
agree.
No, but
broken
that's what I'm saying.
record.
Where's the
I
outcry
understand,
for
and
one?
you are absolutely on the point. But I think that also in this particular victim situation, that being with people that you know in a high-profile environment where there's probably booze, drugs, coke, whatever going around,
right?
There's an intense amount of peer pressure happening towards this very young individual.
Andrew, let me come on. Okay, I believe in peer pressure, but. Sure. Is the peer pressure so great that you're going to drop your fucking clothes and start going down on the guy next to you? Maybe that. But but my point is, there's no amount of peer pressure that's going to make you drop your clothes and start fucking the person next to you.
I would.
I think there has to be at some point. There has to be some personal responsibility.
Man, I've been in peer pressure, man, before, and maybe I'm just stronger willed.
Yeah.
And guess what? If I don't want to do something, I'm not doing it.
Sure.
Period.
But there are a lot of people that can't stand up to authority figures that are telling them what to do.
So you stay in a relationship for years because of that?
No. A lot of people do.
A lot of people do, for sure.
So because of that one moment, I'm going to stay in a relationship for the rest of my life?
No.
Okay.
But as a child, being told by adults...
I feel bad for her. I do. There's a part of me that feels bad for her, but then also a part of me questions where her head was at. Mm-hmm. What she was doing.
What did you think was on the bus?
Yeah.
She's not naive. This isn't the
Graham
50s.
Crackers and juice?
Yeah.
Like, come on. You're not
Is it cookies and milk? You're not, this isn't a visit to grandma's house. You're visiting the guy that made the song called Bump and Grind.
Yeah. It's a good song.
And again, I'm not putting blame on her.
No, it's not about that.
I put blame on R. Kelly. He's a piece of shit. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying I also question her own logic. I feel like she was down. And then suddenly she realized that she put herself
in a bad situation.
Years later, she realized she put herself in a bad situation. And I'm not trying to make that sound rapey. I'm trying to be matter of fact about this whole entire situation. You were fucking R. Kelly's brother. Mm-hmm. You go on a bus. The woman is naked. She tells you to have sex with her. Take off your clothes. You have sex. You stay around for the next several months. Everything's good. Suddenly you feel like, wow, this is an abusive thing. I don't like it. Let me get the hell out. Good. She left. But the point is that she took the steps to get there. And then when it wasn't fun anymore, she left. like she should have.
Yep.
Do you guys not agree with this? That
I think there has to be a level of personal responsibility, because if she was 16 with some other 16-year-old in high school, it would just be parents ripping into their kids.
Yeah.
And I understand
she absolutely is the victim.
Yes, I'm not arguing.
But I'm also saying that she knew what she was doing at the. I'm trying to be very balanced about this. R. Kelly's the blame. She's the victim, obviously. However, she also took part in it.
She was not kidnapped and thrown onto a bus.
Exactly. Yeah, there's my point.
Somebody chose to go onto the bus.
I can go as a 15-year-old boy can fuck my teacher who was 27 willingly. I pursued her. Am I the victim?
Not really.
It's hard. It's weird. It's weird. In fact,
it's very weird. It's all gray. That's the thing.
It really is. It's a very odd situation that we find ourselves in nowadays. Anyways, what else do we have in the news? This is all going to be cut later.
Rush Limbaugh says Hurricane Irma is a conspiracy.
It is.
And evacuates
by
anyway.
the planet.
Rush Limbaugh spent the first part of his week acting.
Mother Earth is out there to get us.
It's out to get him.
Rush Limbaugh spent the first
She's
part
on
of
the payroll of the Democrats.
This week acting.
No, on the payroll of God. Remember what Kirk Cameron said.
That's right.
But the first part of this week acting as a Hurricane Irma truther, but now it seems he is taking cover. On Thursday, the conservative radio host announced on his show that he would be evacuating South Florida, where he lives, and would be off the air for the next couple of days. This comes a mere days after he lambasted media stations for the coverage of the storm preparers for battening down their hatches.
Right.
May as well announce this. I'm not going to get into details because of the security nature of things, but it turns out that we will not be able to do the program here tomorrow.
Conservative radio host.
Sorry.
Limbaugh said on his Thursday broadcast. We will be on the air next week, folks, from parts unknown.
How funny is that? He tries to say that this whole entire thing is a left media, from the left. It's all media hype. And then he cancels his show during the storm. What an idiot.
Yeah.
He goes on to say, tomorrow will be problematic. Legally impossible for us to originate the program out of here.
Wouldn't you be a bit embarrassed?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you should be.
Yeah.
I did not listen to meteorologists, scientists, lawyers, construction buildings, like the foundation,
and also my own eyes.
Exactly.
I didn't believe my own eyes when I saw the storm coming at me. But
and I have to admit, I have egg on my face. I fucked up. This is not the thing to start yelling conspiracy theories about in the first place, you dumbass. It's just going to make you look stupid.
Have you ever listened to the Rush Limbaugh show?
Clips, like sound note bits.
Let me play something real fast. Hold on.
Welcome to today's edition of the Rush 24/7 podcast.
Wait a second. Is that double echo talk? Is that still a thing?
For assholes.
That sounds like Telemundo production. Or monster truck racing.
Yeah.
Greetings, my friends, and welcome. Great to have you here. Rush Limbaugh, your voice of hope and truth during times of trouble.
Is he dying?
I don't know. He thinks he's going to explode.
He's got a nasal blockage.
Weird.
And turmoil and stress. This is the place that you need to be. Great to have you here. 3 hours of broadcast excellence straight ahead.
Wait
and here's the telephone number.
What is that?
It's his fucking chair because he's too fat.
Every time he stops talking.
Every time he moves.
Hold on a
second.
second. Hold on a second.
Want to call in 800-282-2882.
Back it up. Back the whole thing up.
What was that? Was he whacking it?
I don't know, dude. I think he let out a fart.
Hold on, let me see. Well, what? Let me find that real fast.
That was gold, though.
Hold on a second.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Get a new fucking chair, man.
That's insane.
He's winded. It sounds like he just ran a mile.
If you want to call in, 800-282-2882. Email address, if you want to call in.
These guys get paid millions of dollars.
In 800-282-2882. Email address, ilrushbo, eibnet.us.
Now, you could hear him lick his lips.
I want to say here at the start that I know.
Wow, hold on a second. He has a massive noise gate on his mic.
Oh, the vast majority of you in this audience have at best a passing interest in the approaching hurricane, Hurricane Irma. If you live anywhere west of Florida or Georgia or South Carolina,
I think he's dying on the microphone.
North Carolina, you probably don't care that much. I remember when I grew up in Missouri, I mean, the weather would tell us when hurricanes hit, but it was nothing that was ever going to affect us, and so there was not a direct emotional connection to it. We knew of it. We call in 800-282-2882. Email address illrushbaugh@eibnet.us.
He's clipping, too.
Okay, do you see how he completely quits talking? It's complete silence. That's a noise gate. But it sounds like the entire radio station went dead.
Yeah.
Like there's no sound. No, there's no broadcast.
But you can also hear every lip smack, every chair
I want to
movement.
say here at the start that I know.
You need to finesse that mic a bit.
You need to back the fuck up off the mic, dude.
How are you a broadcaster that makes millions of dollars? Now I'm going to be upset again.
Yeah, I thought this was bad. This being a podcaster broadcasting in the bottom of a shit bucket.
But now you have a guy that's making millions of dollars, and all you hear is the sound of his fat ass moving on the chair. Oops. Let's keep listening. Hold on. It gets worse, I think.
The vast majority of you in this audience have at best a passing interest in the approaching.
That's what he's doing. Like he's talking
every bit.
Oh, he's such a fat ass.
Hurricane Irma.
Jesus, that chair's horrible.
The chair's screaming for death.
Oh man,
it just wants to die.
That's bad, dude.
Ugh. What an asshole. Oh God, he's
chair broke.
All right, what else do we have in the news, Andrew?
Keeping on with the hurricane news, gay people to blame for Hurricane Harvey.
Oh, wow.
Says evangelical Christian leaders.
Okay.
Wouldn't that have been like a San Francisco hurricane then?
A number of Christian leaders have blamed LGBT people for causing Hurricane Harvey. Despite the overwhelming evidence that supports climate change as a factor in the devastating storm and subsequent flooding, a handful of evangelical leaders have ludicrously suggested that LGBT community is to blame.
I like how they imagine the LGBT community is like sitting in this Legion of Doom scenario around a round table, working with Professor Cold.
They're not
to devise a fucking hurricane. Like, what cartoon are you watching? That is your life.
I'm just imagining a shitty rave music and LEDs just going off of all the different colors.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Minister Kevin Swanson, who holds notoriously homophobic views, said Houston had sinned by having a very, very aggressively pro-homosexual mayor. Jesus sends this message home.
Oh my God.
They're bum fucking.
Unless Americans repent, unless Houston
the gay people
repents.
united to create a storm.
Down.
All
right. We must do this together. We will destroy all the straight people together. Quick. Anal sex all around. Connilingus and scissoring. We will destroy the straight people with storms.
They'll be fabulous.
And volcanoes. Go ahead.
Unless Houston repents, unless New Orleans repents, they will all likewise perish, he told his radio show.
How does he get a radio show?
Yeah. Today is a day to reflect on people that have way too much.
Yeah, no kidding.
Go ahead, Andrew.
That is the message that Lord Jesus Christ is sending
No, it's not.
right now to America. His comments come days after Christian radio personality Rick Wiles linked Houston's progressive attitudes with the storm as well.
Okay, so gay people have magical powers. They're basically Aquaman. They can control the weather and the
Why
sea
wouldn't
life.
you want to be their friend then?
Yeah, exactly. I wish I was gay. If I can have magical powers, I would go down on a dude. Like, hey, listen, go down on a dude, and you can now command the weather. All right.
Sure.
Point me to the nearest dick, please.
I thought I had to get bit by a spider, but apparently I had to get bit by some fashion
That's
Satan.
my origin story. My origin story is to get plowed in the ass.
Just always looks absolutely fantastic, regardless of whatever he's wearing.
Even in the storm.
What else do we have in the news, Andrew? We have time for one more.
Moving on to how a single hot female got her electricity back after Irma.
Oh, damn.
A photo of a Florida resident who lost power during Hurricane Irma has gained traction online for its unique combination of sexy and inspiring.
I'm going to disagree with that, probably.
In it, Kinsey Lay, a recent organ transplant recipient, stands in front of her house and some downed tree branches while making a plea through a hot pink lettered sign. Hot single female seeks sexy lineman to electrify her life, it says. It received hundreds of shares on Facebook. That was my idea. I'd like to be humorous. Lay, age 37, tells Yahoo Lifestyle about the photo.
Hot?
There's only one photo, and it's pretty small. You can't tell, but she looks hot.
She looks stacked.
Okay.
Anything to
Spoken
bring
like
humor.
a true gay male.
I know. He's like, yeah, that's something dudes would say.
Yeah. That bitch is stacked, yo.
How often are you controlling the weather?
Listen, all right, I have a meeting to get back to. I left the lights running.
At the Legion.
Our next meeting, we're going to tackle Texas. Once again. Maybe Arizona.
Anything to bring humor.
I just think it's funny when you really, let's say all these nut jobs, these Christian nut jobs, they all say that sinners are the reason why these storms are killing people. Yeah. Apparently, God's reach only extends about 15, 20 miles off the coast. Everyone else safe in Midland. Guess what? If you're well away from the shore, obviously you're not a sinner, right?
You can bumfuck all you want in Montana.
Yeah,
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Apparently.
God
Why
loves,
do you think they have so many goats?
God loves the Midwest. All right, go ahead.
It's the right attitude considering the particular spot that Lay of Fort Myers found herself in. Just 2 weeks ago, the divorced mom of one underwent
a divorcee. That sounds like a porno waiting to be made. Divorcee. Shortly after Hurricane Harvey needed to repair her home.
Shortly after.
What did she need to do?
Shortly after,
she was already wet.
Was ravaged by Harvey.
She was already wet by the storm.
Hey.
But soon after, she got wet again. In order to get her home rebuilt and feed her kids, this woman decided to do the deed. That's a great concept for a porno.
It is.
I'm going to produce it. All right. What else does it say?
The divorced mom underwent a double organ transplant of her pancreas and a kidney due to kidney failure as a result of living with type 1 diabetes since childhood.
Too bad.
The transplant went well, she says, but in the hospital's rush to discharge patients before Irma hit, Lay was let out a bit too early and found that she had to return to the hospital after spending a difficult night in a nearby hotel.
Oh, that's too bad.
So I wrote
You should go help her, Mike. That'll be part of the porno.
I'll help her out.
So I rode out the storm at Tampa General Hospital, she says.
Yeah, she did.
Even as the place was running on generator power and its entire staff was stranded on site for 5 days due to the closure of a bridge connecting the hospital's island to the mainland.
You should have opened up a line of communication with the gay people to help her.
Send me some whales I can ride.
Please rescue me. Don't make me a target.
But
I love the gay people. I support gay marriage. Please quit your laser beams. Make them go away, please.
You know what I just thought of? This might be blasphemous, so I might get people mad at me.
Go ahead.
Moses asked for help to part the sea. Think about it.
You're going too far, Thomas.
Think about what?
I'm going to put gay people are going to put their... I'm going to be gay tonight. So I'm gay. I'm going to put my targets on you.
Do I get rain?
I'm putting sonar on you.
You get moisture of some sort.
The dolphins are attacking. The dolphins are attacking.
In Arizona?
Yeah.
Is the aquarium going to break down?
Gay people... As long as you're by water, leave. Make sure you're not close to any sources of water.
Oh my God. Hurricanes are killing everyone.
All right. See you next week, everybody. Later, Thomas.
Later.
Don't go down on any men, Andrew.
Hashtag Yeast Beast.
I want to tell you about Dead City Radio, man.
Thank you for listening to The Rain Man Show with your host, Michael Flores, with hosts Tony Sabal and Thomas Cowley, Andrew Spindler with the news, audio guru Dustin Lucas, produced by Michael Flores and Dustin Lucas. The Rain Man Show is a Cazador Productions and Rain Man Digital broadcast production. For all things Rain Man, go to rainmanshow.com.